What's going on, everybody? Sage here with the Run 'em Down YouTube channel. We're going to take a break a little bit from hunting, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a review on the DNT Hydra series that we've been using the past couple weeks, just to kind of let you guys know what's been going on with the scopes, what I like, what I would like to get a little bit better. But really, what we're going to focus on is the budget of them. So right now, you guys can see I have both the Hydra series. I have the Hydra HS650 and then I have the HS650R. So the biggest difference between the two is the HS650R is going to be their LRF version of their Hydra. So two different kind of Hydra scopes that you have here. So on DNT's website right now, the LRF is going for about $3,400. And then the non-LRF version is going for about $3,000. Now they are on discount on the DNT website. The LRF is going for right around $3,000, and then the non-LRF is going for about $2,700. So really, when you think about it, for what you're getting, these are some pretty great prices on their website. So I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering what this contraption is next to me and why it looks so janky. So right now I have obviously my 2Vets tripod, nice expensive carbon fiber tripod. I made this little contraption in like 10 minutes at the house. I put a Arca rail mount on the bottom of this 2x4, and then I cut this Picatinny rail in half, and then I just screwed it on there. The reason I did this is so we can actually sit here. We're gonna walk out. I'm gonna have Cameron or myself. We're gonna walk out to 50, 100, 150, and 200 yards. And we are going to be able to give you guys an exact side-by-side of the two scopes, the exact same conditions, the exact same time. That way you guys can kind of pick on which one you kind of like the picture of more. We do have the settings set exactly the same. So the contrast, the brightness, everything is going to be the exact same. The only difference that we're going to have on these two scopes is we're going to take the reticle off the scope. That way you guys can kind of focus on how it actually looks through the scope. I do want to say thank you, DNT, for sending me these scopes, being able to show you guys the difference here. I know obviously it's kind of hard to find videos sometimes, especially when companies drop new scopes, to find the difference between a basic scope versus an LRF version. So we're going to run through that real quick. We're going to probably, I'm going to show you guys some differences between the scopes real quick, and then we're going to walk them out to about 200 yards. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you quick, I just took these things off of the mount, and I wanted to show you guys a quick just comparison side by side of the scopes in my hand. So right here we have the HS650 non-LRF, and then we have the HS650R, which is the one with the LRF on it. So if you want to look, Cameron, if you want to come in closer. So size-wise, there's not a terrible big difference. Obviously, I run them without the eyepiece on them just because personal preference. But the eyepieces, they just simply screw into each one of these. Super, super simple. So if you like it, if you don't, whatever you want. Button layout is the exact same size. So I will say with these, with the HS series, I will say that I do like the button layout. It makes it really easy to kind of find what you want. To record is going to be this back button. You just press it once, starts recording, press it again, stops recording. Obviously you have your main menu. If you press it, it'll auto nuke the scope. So just in case you just need to nuke your scope, which basically means it's refreshing the scope, you can do that. If you hold it down, you'll get your whole menu where you can select your reticles, your reticle colors, your contrast, your sharpness, your brightness, whatever you want in the scope is obviously going to be all in that menu. Obviously, zoom is going to be at the top right here. So underneath the power button is going to be your zoom. I believe that this scope goes out from, I think base mag is about 2, and then it goes out to 10 times. You can do a picture-on-picture option where basically it throws up a smaller picture onto your main picture where it's already zoomed in. That is the one gripe I do have, or not, it's not even a gripe. It's the one thing that I wish was a little bit better from DNT. Other scopes that I've used, whenever you use the picture-on-picture, the reticle gets smaller as well, so you can make a more fine shot. With their picture-on-picture, the reticle is a little bit big, and so the reticle that I like to use, and I can throw up some footage right here, the reticle I like to use, the dot ends up taking up the entire pig's head at about 150 yards. Of course, these are budget thermals, They're great thermals, but they are on the more budget friendly side. So I'm not taking shots out to 200, 300 yards at coyotes, really small targets that I need a really fine reticle on. So again, this is just personal preference, but it is something that I've seen. One more thing real quick before we get into actually testing out the thermals is going over the mounts. So the mounts are the same. Now this one on the HS650, the non-LRF version, I did have to push it back a little bit just because when I clamped it down, it was actually pinching this cap right here and it wasn't allowing the cap to sit properly on the lens. I'm sure you guys can see I did break off the cap on this one, so oops, but that's okay. Cheap part. I'm just gonna buy a new one whenever I send it back to DNT. Also, difference on here is the battery cap. So on the HS650, you have the battery cap right here. Super simple. I mean, you just screw it off, put the battery in there, 18650 battery, screw it back on. I'm gonna put this one to the side real quick. This one, the LRF version, has a side angle battery cap and where the battery goes. So again, super simple, screws off. Oh, and there's a battery. See? So goes right in there just like that. Super simple. Now I will say one thing I like about the HS650R is that it has this little tether right here, this little cable tether. That is super important to me and a lot of people I know, because if you guys have ever been hunting at night, thermal hunting, obviously when we're using these scopes, and say you got to change out a battery, your battery's dead and you got to change it out. Having this tether, you know, if you have gloves on, if you're, I don't know, if you're just in the dark and you drop that cap, it could mess you up, you know, especially if you have a coyote coming in, if you're around hogs, whatever it may be, that can mess you up, because then of course you got to figure out where your cap is, blah, 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 blah. The problems are endless there. So I do like that they put that tether on there. That way, if it does slip out of your hands, if you have gloves on, whatever it may be, that cap will just hang down to the side of the scope. You go, oh, okay, put it right back on. Super simple. With these scopes, you are able to, it has 3 different modes. So they classify it as a 3-in-1. So they have it as obviously a dedicated scope. They have it as a clip-on, so you can put, again, take away the reticle and you can put it on front of any kind of scope. Say if you have a, I don't know, a Vortex 40 mil, you can put this on the front of that and turn that deer hunting rifle into a thermal rifle. Also, you can use it as a handheld. So you can take this mount completely off, just use it as a handheld, scanning around. I would probably like to use this one a little bit more with the handheld, just because it is, I don't know, maybe an inch shorter. So it's a little bit smaller, fits in your hand a little bit better. You can scan around with that bad boy and use it as that as well. So those are nice things that they did add to these scopes. I do like that part of it. With the LRF version, you just have the LRF and BC right there, so ballistic calculator. So what, for you guys that have never used a BC before, basically what that is so if you shoot a coyote, I don't know, 300 yards, okay? Not to say to take that shot, but if you can, cool. If you shoot a coyote out at 300 yards with the LRF, what this scope will do, depending on the round that you're using, so say if you're shooting 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 Grendel, whatever, it'll auto-calculate your ballistics. Once you put your ballistics into the scope, it'll auto-calculate those ballistics and auto-calculate the drop of that round. So that way you can put that dot or whatever the scope is ballistically calculated for you, put it on there, and it'll basically funnel that round into them. So I haven't tried the ballistic calculator yet. I do like the LRF on this one, but you know, I've used ballistic calculators on other scopes. It's a great tool for those really long shots, mostly coyotes or bobcats. But I do like that DNT has kind of put that into their Hydra scopes. We will be testing that out very soon. All right, guys, so here we have 50 yards. Camera's gonna bounce around and twirl like a pretty princess for a little bit so you guys can kind of see the difference between the two. Now he's going to stand around at about 100 yards, so you can kind of see the difference. The LRF version has a little bit of a white ring around camera, which I've noticed. I didn't notice that the other night, so it could be that we're doing this in the daytime, but I'm not 100% sure. Now here's Cameron at 150 yards. Look how pretty that princess is at 150. And then here he is just shy of 200. I think I LRF'd him at about 198. So you guys can kind of see the difference between the two. I will say the LRF does look a little bit better than the normal HS 650, but that's up to you guys. Whichever one you guys kind of think looks better, obviously is the one that you want to go for. All right, guys, now that you've kind of seen the difference between the two scopes, hopefully it does help make your decision a little bit easier if you do decide to go with the DNT optics. I will say just a little bit of advice. If you're hunting more so like for us, it'd be like East Texas where you're hunting in the swamps, you're hunting in, sub 100 yards. I would say save the money, get the HS 650. I think it's an amazing scope. It does exactly what you want. Honestly, you don't have to spend the extra couple $100 for the LRF if you're not going to use it. Now, if you're going to be hunting out for us, would be like West Texas, where you're hunting big open fields. I would say spend the extra money, get the LRF with the BC. That way you can kind of lob those shots out there at coyotes, or even if it's a lone boar and you just want to see how far you can shoot and how good the BC is, which we will be doing hopefully here soon. Go ahead, spend the extra money, get the LRF. It's worth it. I love it. I think it's an amazing scope, especially for the price point that it's at. Of course, you have your more expensive scopes that are going to be better, but I would say if you're looking to spend less than $3,000 or right at $3,000, guys, you can't beat these scopes. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys want to go look at the DNT HS series, I will leave a link down in the description below. Thank you so much, Cameron, for filming. Go look him up. He's on Pintail X Media. I will leave a link down to his channel below as well. Great guy. He does all the filming for me. I can't say anything bad. Well, I can't say a couple things bad, but that's all right. We'll leave that out for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below what you guys want to see next, and I will see you on the next one.